Hello, happy witching hour. I was gonna play some music, but I decided not to. I just wanted to come by real quick and talk to you guys. Hello, all of my pagans and Wiccans and Satanists alike. Hello. Wow. What I gotta tell you is that it is absolutely crazy, crazy, crazy times that we are living in, ain't it? Yes, it is. How are y'all doing? So, there's a lot of people that are going to be like shocked about this discussion, which is why I feel like if you don't have the understanding that I have, that it's probably not the best thing for you to be watching my channel, but hear me out. I'm not telling people to unsub. I'm not doing that. That's not what I'd like to do. However, I want to talk to you guys about some things and some spiritual symbolism and things of that nature. And it's very appropriate to, oh, shoot. Wow. It's very appropriate for us to discuss this at the witching hour on a Sunday. Okay. So I was doing, I got curious because I love to do my supernatural paranormal research, especially on the weekends, when I have a little bit of downtime and I kind of needed a break from all of the, oh, what in the world? Why did you do this? I bet you had something to do with this. Oh, bad kitty. Okay. My cat is bad as hell, y'all. Seriously. Like, really, child? You just always, and I know you had something to do with this. I know you did. You just, it's like you're possessed by something. I don't know what the hell it is, but whatever. All right. Okay. So, this discussion is probably going to be controversial for a lot of people, and you are welcome to leave a non hateful comment. I'm starting to open up comments on this channel more, and my other channels, mine as well. You know what I mean? And then just filter out the stupid ones, okay? So, I was doing some research about, I think it's several places actually, called the Devil's Punch Bowl, and because I had saw a video about it on Black Witch Yaya's channel, and the one thing that I can tell you that struck me is not only very odd but very scary is um, the way these places are being maintained and the things that people are doing, in my opinion, very ignorantly, And I'm not saying that those people are ignorant. I just think that they feel that they're doing the right thing, but in my opinion, knowing what I know, they're not. And so this discussion is not going to necessarily be about that, but it is going to be related to it in what Spirit led me to come and talk to some of you guys, especially those of you that have taken the left hand path, and those of you that are literally being spiritually attacked, um, spiritually attacked by religious constructs and spirits and stuff. Okay. Now, um, the God of the Bible. Do I believe that that is the God of the world? I don't. Okay. I'm evil. Hang me, burn me, kill me, shoot me, whatever. No, I'm joking. Don't ever do any of those things to me because you're going to have some problems. But in fact, it seems like, from what I gather, just from what I can see is happening in the world, I feel like a lot of the times the entity that those men we're talking to is the demon Moloch, personally, just because of all of the child sacrifice and human sacrifice that pretty much goes on and goes along with that whole thing. So, needless to say, I probably in every lifetime have chosen to not go the Christian path. Okay. And it's mainly because I am a good person. I am a sweetheart. And I don't, I just don't. Okay. I just don't, you know. And so I don't have enough people on this channel. I feel really, honestly, when I think about Christianity, I feel like those people have tried to capture me, contain me, trap me as if I'm some sort of hostage. And that's literally the only way that it makes me feel. I'll never feel any other type of way until I am allowed to just go and live my life. I have felt that way for hardcore the past year, just trying to be forced into something that is not for me. I don't like it. I don't like religion, and I am not Christian, and nor will I ever be. Okay? And I'm sure that there's a lot of you guys out there that share the same opinions, same values. I think that a Christian person can take things and bully and, lie and cheat and steal. But that's not the same thing, quite the same thing as the miracle of life and magic. It's totally different. It's kind of a social construct to me, if you ask me, Christianity. But what I do believe that gives Christianity power, in particular, when you're looking at the symbolism of the cross, is spirits. I believe that it's a bit barbaric for anybody to raise up a spirit against a person that is going to have this bruteful force to try to force something on people. I'm not for that. And I don't like it at all. Okay. So I don't agree with it. And I don't agree with trying to force somebody to conform to your religion. I think that when you try to force someone to do that, you deviate them. Not only do you cause distrust, but also war. I think it's weird, and it has become sort of a perversion. The cruelty, the evil, the way that which us witches are being treated unnecessarily, when we really pose no threat to anybody except for maybe their jealousy and personal problems. That is their personal problem. So, how do you protect yourself? How do you truly begin to protect yourself from those spirits of the Bible that to me are very barbaric, hateful, and definitely does not express the love of God, but more so the opposite, in my humble opinion. So it started, what prompted this live discussion was actually me looking at my own video about the crucifix, about the cross. And the cross is a symbol, much like other symbols that has been sullied. Um, the reason why I feel that it's been sullied is because of the way people have used it. Now, it's obvious the reason why Christians use the cross is to conjure spirits. And if you didn't know that, now you know. Um, the cross is not necessarily native to Christianity, but it is something that they use a lot. And that symbol can be found throughout other cultures, throughout other religions and beliefs. Um, and it is a symbol, just like the pentacle, the Star of David, that can be used to conjure certain energies and spirits. Okay. So the cross is one of them. And so I was discussing about how it was kind of ignorant to put a large 33-foot cross above what they deem, quote unquote, the devil's punch bowl. To do what? Is it supposed to create peace? Because that is a symbol of conjuration. Okay, now maybe there could be an intention of creating peace with that particular cross, but I don't think that it is. And so, same difference out here in the world where the cross is being used to conjure energies against people unfairly that seem to have no filter. How do you protect yourself? Okay. Now, number one, my ancestors were not Christian. They were shamans. Okay. So this is a totally different path, totally different thing. It would be no way that I can be Christian. And so my ancestors instructed me to unbaptize myself a long time ago. And there's nothing wrong with that. Okay. It isn't. And a lot of people may not agree with it, but you know, that's too bad. You are not allowed to force people into things that they don't want to do. It just, what's good for you may not be good for the next person. So let's just move on from that. And so, getting back to the discussion about the cross, about the crucifix, I feel like the crucifixion of Jesus Christ was a curse. I feel like it was a awful, awful mistake. And I feel that the cross, just its whole symbolism, again, can call to spirits. And I wish I could use it, but my principles tell me not to. My principles and my love of mankind and what's good. In fact, I don't even like to think about Christianity because I don't like to think about the crucifixion and the torturing of Jesus Christ. I don't even want to think about the suffering and the torture. I just I can't. I can't do it. And then what it was used for, and then everything in it, and I don't agree with it. So if you are someone that is a Satanist or a pagan, how do you protect yourself, especially if you have an overzealous church or either possibly a group of people? Okay, because the churches are people from the church, are people that think that they're holier than thou, hypocritical. People are factually almost hunting us down and constantly obsessing over us, constantly It's just every damn day. They claim that they're holier than thou, but they want us to die, and they have no real understanding of who we are. And it's just a lot of bullshit. Okay. It's a lot of just bullshit. How do you actually protect yourself as a pagan? You don't even have to be a Satanist, but just as a pagan. What is the one thing that you can do to protect yourself from if you are being targeted, if you have been chosen as a sacrifice? You'd have thought that the sacrificing could have stopped at Jesus Christ, but it didn't. So this is something that I've asked them over and over again as to why they're still looking for sacrifices. If Jesus was already sacrificed in a past life, what do you need more sacrifices for? Because that's what it seems that they're looking for. And they're performing ritual, which they're not supposed to do, using the cross to obtain sacrifices, which is really weird, but whatever. How do you protect yourself, boys and girls, from just being bombarded with negativity, with attacks, with punishment? I mean, to just be able to afford a carton of eggs. If you don't go to church, you can be punished for that. If you're able to buy $100 sushi, oh, you obtain wealth. There's actually a lot in the Bible that just made me just not deal with it at all. Okay. I'm one of those all or nothing type of people. Okay. I am. And I just don't want the hassle. I just don't want the struggle. You know what I'm saying? For what? I'm a witch anyway. I'm not welcome there anyway. Even though a lot of the enemies are within the church, a lot, they're very judgmental of each other. Uh, and it's just a lot of drama, drama, drama. And I wouldn't want to be a part of that discussion. Okay. I just wouldn't want to. How do you protect yourself? What is the most simplest thing you can do if you're at war with these people? Because it's a constant war, it's a constant struggle. I personally, from my professional spiritual opinion, I feel that it's past life regression. Okay, everything that happened in the Bible, even everything that happened in the Quran, happened during another time. And it's just the way I look at it. Okay. However, these particular spirits can be conjured, and people do it all the time with one simple gadget. Let me show y'all what I'm talking about. With one simple gadget, they can conjure up these spirits. Okay, right here. And if those spirits hear them, they will come through and they will attack people, especially people that are not protected. And that cross looks so peaceful, doesn't it? But it's not all love and light, and we know it. So, what can you do to protect yourself? It's something as simple as this right here. Can't really capture the whole thing. There it is. A lot of people take that symbol as being a part of the Church of Satan. It's Satanism. It's the devil. Oh my God. But what if you're not a Satanist? What if you're just a person that's just spiritual and you like to meditate and you're just not a religious person, but you got an overzealous religious person that just, they're just like, I'm going to get her to come back to Christ, or I'm going to get him to come back to Jesus. What do you mean, travel back in time? What do you think that we want to, what do you think that we enjoy snuff films? Because I'm going to tell you something, I'd have turned my head and walked away. Because if I couldn't do anything about what happened to Jesus, I don't want to sit and look at somebody get tortured to death. That's awful. That's awful. Okay? Like, I just, no, 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 no. And so, anyway, a lot of people take this symbol as it being disrespectful. I don't agree. It's a symbol. And I think that this symbol was adapted primarily as a defense, both a psychic and spiritual defense against evildoers within the church, because there are evildoers within the church. There are evildoers everywhere that want to do evil. Okay, so to protect yourself from spiritual attack, it's as simple as the inverted cross. Okay, a lot of people are not going to feel comfortable with that. They're going to say, Jamila, I do not feel comfortable with that. And I understand. I personally do feel very comfortable with it. I think that as a witch, I choose not to be a part of that. Because I know what's up with it. So, the way that you sometimes have to defend yourself, and this is often a defense mechanism, because if someone is raising a spirit, let's say such as Deuteronomy or Psalms against you, and people can be disasters. I've seen it happen. I've seen people that just needed to expand their spiritual knowledge or learn something new, and they just don't know how. So they do what they know what's best, and that's exploiting and attacking other people without doing any research, having any understanding, especially if you are practicing any form of witchcraft. Okay? Now, I don't practice hoodoo or voodoo, but being that I have African roots, then some of the things that I do can be considered voodoo. I just consider it eclectic. Okay, let's put it like that. Just because I know that these things work and I'm doing them for a specific purpose. Okay. If somebody's raising or conjuring energy against you for whatever reason, hey, Stevan, hello, and they're using a cross to do it, and they're trying to bully you, and they're trying to dominate you, and they're being weird, and they're being perverted, and they're being weirdness. An inverted cross. Now, Lilith has one that she actually made for me. I ate all my cookies, Stefan, but I do have milk. Hold on a minute. So this is Lilith's sigil that I use often, but just the simple um, inverted cross. But let me find Lilith's sigil real quick in my picture library here. And my phone is kind of down a little ways here. It's not being disrespectful. It's just that people don't want their lives disrupted all the time. And let's face it, a lot of us that are not within the church have had constant disruptions from people in particular. Like, for example, I don't really feel bothered by Muslim people at all. Like, I really don't. Like, I don't know. I was looking at a video that said that Allah was Satan. And I wouldn't never dare say that in front of my significant other. But anyway, let's get back to what I was saying. Okay, showing y'all, trying to show y'all. So, and it's still like it's really far down on my list on my photographs. So I'm scrolling. Give me a second. I'm just gonna talk as I find it. In fact, since I'm pagan, I would keep an inverted cross once I get my home. When I get where I'm going, I would keep it on my wall in my altar room. I would keep an inverted cross because I think that now more than ever, us witches are under attack unfairly. Unfairly. Um, let's face it, technically, if we do a return to sender, we're only sending back the negativity that they sent to us. So we're not doing anything wrong by doing that. We're not doing anything wrong by practicing our beliefs. In fact, many of us are very peaceful people who just want to be left the heck alone. And I know that a lot of Christians are going to watch this and wish death on me because I guess if I don't worship or believe in what they believe in, they want me to die. Okay, which is, oh God, don't love me like you do. Okay, hold on a second, guys. It's coming up here. So this was a sigil that me and Lilith drew together. But just the inverted cross is fine, especially with the little spikes at the end. Please leave me alone. I'm not doing anything to bother you. You're just attacking because it's something that you don't understand. Oh dang, I couldn't find it. I know I got one of those pictures in here unless I deleted it. I got it saved somewhere. I know I do. Weird. It's got to be somewhere in here, y'all. Anyway, the inverted cross is going to be because a lot of us are being attacked unprovoked. None of our spirits or spirit work are just attacking people randomly. They don't do that. We're not doing anything to harm them. They just want control of us. They're very narcissistic. Okay, hold on. I'm trying to see if I can find it. So just to let you guys know, the inverted pentagram is a conjuration tool also, but it also is a symbol of protection for us pagans, as well as Satanists to be protected from spiritual warfare. And basically, what it's saying is you're raising this energy against me, and I'm telling it to heal, to kneel, to stop. I'm stopping that energy, which, by the way, to me is very chaotic. it can be chaotic depending on what the situation is. All right, hold on. So keeping this symbol in your home. Yeah, I can't seem to find it. Y'all know that inverted cross that me and Lilith created? And what we did was we put an inverted pentagram in it as well. But Lilith was saying that the pentagram would serve me better if it were upright. But for some reason I can't find it. And I know I have it somewhere. I have it. I do. It's somewhere on here. It's either, I'm sure that I got tons of them in my pick collage folder. Nope. What did I do with it? Oh, this is weird. Okay, let's see. Nope, that's not it either. Okay, anywho. So I was not able to find it. Or are we being attacked again? No, actually, I mean, I do feel um what I sense all the time is monitoring, Christian. Um, I sense a lot of monitoring and a lot of obsessive behavior, planning, plotting, um, evil attacks. That's always there, by these people that claim that they're good. And, there's a lot of people that think that they're doing the right thing, but if it has to be at the expense of someone else, then wow. Okay. So that's why I was discussing that. And then I was discussing the Devil's Punch Bowl. And it kind of freaked me out, Christian, because what freaked me out about the situation is because it's this extremely, it's this extreme, um, it's an area that has a lot of spiritual activity, and they have a huge 33-foot cross that is basically raising the dead, which are these, I put my salt glass water in my bed. You should do the same. Oh, well, it's not water, it's salt and ammonia, actually, which has probably about a small amount of water in the ammonia and salt. So I actually did a cleanse, and I'm going to put my sigil on it, which would be the inverted cross, because that is the main way of protecting yourself, okay, from those energies. Because to me, I don't want to argue about it. I don't want to constantly be subjugated. And so whenever Christians hold a cross up, is what I was explaining, is that this is a tool of conjuration. And so, they can conjure those spirits, and the next thing you know, you're at war. Well, you can basically do that every single day. Who the hell wants to be at war every single day over their choices that they made? You see what I'm saying? So if you've made a choice to go a different path, which may not even necessarily be Satanism, but I still think that there are a lot of people that, especially pagans and Wiccans, that are consistently being attacked, um, consistently. And it's unfair because, these people in history, they will try to kill you. They will try to kill you. It's very bizarre. And so one of the ways that you can protect yourself from their spiritual attacks And, even protect yourself from their physical attacks is the inverted cross, is what I was talking about. And so it's nothing wrong. I mean, there's a lot of people that probably have adapted to what I'm talking about because it's just so much. It's like, why are you attacking me? Leave me alone, god damn it, um they just don't talk about it. But I felt like I wanted to talk about it because like I can literally see it, like when people, especially people that belong to a church or have been to a church, it'll be like these attacks from within the church. And I've just started telling people to keep an inverted cross. Your attacks are coming from the church itself, from the congregation, the members of the church, for whatever reason that they want to. They don't really need a reason. They have to do is feel like, they know what they're talking about, and the next thing you know, they're causing some kind of chaos. It's very bizarre. So yeah, but yeah, definitely, Christian. I did a video um earlier, and we're working on cleansing. And in just a second, I'm gonna go and put an inverted cross on that jar. And the reason why is because I just don't want those spirits. In fact, the inverted cross is a symbol of do not enter. I think that it's also about returning those spirits to their graves, because again, those spirits, to me, they come from a past life. I feel like a lot of us are going through past life regressions because of it, because people are insisting on conjuring these types of spirits, and when they could be researching high magic. I don't know. So, so keep that. In fact, it's very controversial for a lot of people to just walk around with an inverted cross necklace and and earrings and stuff. People probably look at you like, "Oh my god, what is this? Oh my god." But like, maybe possibly keeping something in your bag. And that's why Lilith was saying that she wanted me to, because her sigil looks very similar to this cross, only there's a circle, and we did have the pentacle inverted, but she said that it would serve me better to have it upright. But like I said, this right here would be enough, because they're raising the dead against you. They're raising these spirits against you that have an assignment, and you're telling these spirits, you're like, hey, it's the year 2025. I banish you through time and space. Please leave me alone. Please go. Please go. Don't bother me. We're not bothering you. We're not being disrespectful. We don't go to your churches. We don't invade. We haven't stole anything. So why are you here on assignment for what? Because somebody sent you, and I think that what it's done, because yesterday I was talking to Hecate and um Kali, actually, and what they were concerned about was spiritual burnout. Like, it's just been so much, just constant, 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 constant. And then I'm like, have you read the Bible? Doesn't it say that your God gives people their free will? How did you take that? But then again, in the Bible, we're not just dealing with the entity that claims to be God, which I believe is Moloch. I believe that the God of the Bible is Moloch. I do. And a lot of people are going to be like, what? She is the devil. Da, 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 da. And thank you. That's actually a compliment. Because it just is too much murder and death and killing and war and talk of sacrificing children and, abusing children by dashing them with rocks. And those things are things that I don't agree with, and that's why I don't do it. And so somebody said, well, you just have to be in the Holy Spirit to understand. I've heard people say that. I'm like, no, no, you know, I don't even have okay, let's put it like this. I don't have an opinion of it. I don't have an opinion. I'm Switzerland. I'm neutral. I'm not going to say that I'm for it, but I'm just not with it. Okay. Yeah, I don't want to be bothered. And a lot of y'all, because it's not just the entity in the Bible that claims to be God of the world that sounds like man to me. It sounds like a man. It's a man that's saying that, or either a man being manipulated by a spirit. This is it. So, but what's in the Bible is spirits. Um, as you guys know, Moses, I believe, wrote Deuteronomy, and there's a lot in Deuteronomy that I don't agree with. You know. Oh yeah. That there's yeah, there's a lot that, just from the little that I read, and it's just like, but that was Moses. That was his gospel. You know what I mean? And that's the one thing that I remember about Moses is Moses telling his people to not worship the sun and the moon and stuff. And so I feel like what Moses did was he pretty much closed off people's crown chakra. And so, and then we wonder why there's so much death and suffering and all kind of stuff in this world. You know what I'm saying? Because I mean, that to me, that's where the blessings come from. That's God. So to me, what Moses was ultimately doing was saying, don't be in touch with God, because I feel like God is out there. You know what I'm saying? I feel like God is there. When you look up at the sky, I feel like you are making contact with the Most High. And then sometimes when you look down at the ocean, if you were floating above the ocean looking down, you would probably see a reflection of God or something. At any rate, I don't agree with Moses. And so that's part of Deuteronomy. And, it was said in that particular gospel of the Bible that if you did, you were going to be punished. So everything that actually connects you to God, you're being punished for it. So this is, so and that's why I always tell y'all to protect your, protect all your gateways, but mainly and primarily where a lot of those things come out from would either be the south, southeast, or the east uh, quadrant of our northeast, south, and west. And so that's why it's very important for people to have an understanding of, because y'all know how many witches, they're just witches. They're not Christian. They're not any of that. They're just witches. That's it. It's just a witch. And they live very peaceful, humble lives where there's not a whole bunch of hoopla chaos, fighting, and destruction. So it doesn't have to be that way. You know what I mean? And I think that this is one of the secret ways that they do it is with the inverted cross. Okay? To me, it's not disrespectful to Jesus Christ. I think that Jesus Christ was disrespected, but obviously not to the point of no return because apparently there was a resurrection 3 days later. And so we're coming up on that because Easter's coming up. So, yeah. Yeah, I know. They done kind of changed the format here. Hmm. Well, we can't necessarily dismantle it. I mean, it is very alarming the amount of people that go out and kill and do things to harm people in the name of religion. It is very disappointing. It's very alarming. But again, you know, certain symbolisms can help you. And the inverted cross can be used for conjuring as well. Um, but it would be more so conjuring kundalini, maybe key energy. Yeah, yeah, it is. So I think that that's something that a lot of people should do because it just seems like it's almost like BDSM style perverted edition, perverse edition. Oh God, of religious people. You know what I mean? Just and it's a mixture of church and BDSM at the same time. Hello, I'm here to punish you because you've been bad. No, did did you just try to refer to me as a sheep and you're hurting the sheep? So it kind of, I'm not. I'm just, no. Okay. And you know what? They try to come, and you know what irritates me about it? When it comes to witches and our children, they're constantly trying to tell our children to be Christian, and it doesn't matter. Our children are still under our protection. So it doesn't matter if your mother's a witch and you are young and impressionable, because I just see it as a perversion at this point. Just doing very perverted and twisted things. Not all of them. I'm not saying this about every church. I'm not saying this about every pastor of a church. But I do believe that they are being very quiet about it. They're not saying anything. They're not saying, hey, we can't force our religious beliefs on people. They're too quiet for me. Why aren't they saying anything? So they think that they have the right to just violate people's spiritual divine right. And like I was actually looking up some videos. Voodoo versus witchcraft is what I was looking up. And I ran across a bunch of videos saying, be careful of witchcraft and look out for witchcraft. And clearly, these people were from the church. And they're so dead set on witchcraft that they can't even see their real enemies or actually within the church. It's so funny to me how they just curse each other and do the craziest things. And they say, it wasn't me, it was the witches. What? Yeah, it was the witches. And then they'll say, look, see all these witches on here? It's like, well, I don't even know that person. It was just still just because they exist. That's the problem. And it's, they gossip, talk about each other behind each other's back and do all kind of crazy stuff, you know, and they do. Not saying all of them do that, but it's a lot of crazy wickedness going on within that. But it's always witchcraft. It's always our fault. Always. Everything that could ever go wrong is our fault. Even though they're conjuring negative spirits and malevolent entities and forces out of the Bible, you know, I stand by my principles thoroughly. I know that there's blessings in Psalms and in Proverbs and things of that nature, but I choose to stand on my principles. I choose to stand for what I feel is right. And I just don't want to deal with it. You know what I mean? Yeah. And so this particular inverted cross, I actually have it as the wallpaper on my phone. I used to have a cute little picture of the earth, which I wish I could have. I love pictures of the earth and stuff. And it's like during the day, it's like daytime earth. And then at night, it like shows all the little flickering lights and stuff. I would love to have an aurora wallpaper or screensaver on my phone. Instead, I have to have this inverted cross because of the paranormal activity of religion. And I don't want those spirits being conjured against me or my loved ones. You know what I mean? Hmm. They judge everybody except for their own behavior. A lot of times, I know a lot of them like that. I'm not trying to. Oh, you know what? I may grab that book, Lester Crowley. Interesting. Yeah, and I'm not trying to hurt a Christian. I'm not. I'm just telling people what I know, what my spirits taught me, what they tell me about what's happening. Because, I mean, honestly, dealing with it brought a lot of instability in my life. Let's put it like that. Instability that was brought up on purpose. And I like being stable. I've always been a very stable, solid, stealth person. I don't have a lot of instability in my life, and I want to continue to keep that. So, in order for there to be some kind of spiritual defense, my inverted cross that they may see as disrespectful, hey, I'm gonna continue to use it, just like they're gonna continue to attempt to conjure punishment and fire and brimstone and revelations that they'll try to conjure revelations even, which revelations is very similar. It has a very wrathful energy. um and I just don't want to I just don't want to deal with that, you know what I mean? So I keep a spirit doll as well with an inverted cross underneath my Santa Muerta statuette, because there's some people that work with Santa Muerta and they actually use the crucifix, and but they use the upright version of the crucifix. When I work with Santa Muerta, I use the inverted crucifix. Okay. So, and there is a difference. And they're very similar, but it can be used for many, many different purposes. I think primarily using it for protection, because nobody wants a one day is this and the next day is that. And the next day is this and this and that. In fact, it can be used to bind an enemy. The inverted cross can be used to bind an enemy. It can be used for a lot of different purposes. A lot. To combat certain spirits that come out of the Bible that just, no. Nobody, back then, I can imagine that a loaf of bread back during Bible times costed, we don't even know what currency or exchange it was, maybe a half a penny for a loaf of bread or something. These days, you want to get a decent loaf of bread, you're going to spend $3 or $4 or $5. And so, what should people do? Not survive, not flourish, not prosper? Should people just die? Is that what people should do? They should just die, because So to me, it's outdated. Especially the aspect of, okay, so let's say that you have money, right? You have wealth. I see wealthy people losing a lot of money all the time. You know why? If you're not, like, let's say that you came up on some money, right? Let's say you came up on a lot of money. Like, I'm not talking about a small amount of money, 10, 20,000. That's a small amount of money. Okay. I'm talking about gobs of money, like 500,000 or 1 million. But you weren't a religious person, right? Like, you're not religious at all. Like, you are not Christian. You just came up on some money because you either worked for it or you just got lucky. And you going around telling people that you got this money, like, in particular folk in your family, because you feel like, family gonna hear about everything. It's a grapevine. Family gonna hear about it, man. They whatever is going on, you know what I'm saying? You tell one person, everybody gonna know. And then you got somebody in your family that knows about the Bible. She's not a Christian, right? That kind of energy, right? That part. And the next thing you know, they're trying to conjure this spirit against you, where it's either Malachi or one of those spirits in the Bible that basically says that you can be cursed for acquiring wealth if you're not worshiping the Lord. So they can actually invoke a curse against you because you haven't been to church, you haven't tithed, you're not a part of that church, you don't go, but some person that might be just a little tiny jealous of your money that you got, your newly acquired wealth, but coincidentally they gonna say that they went and prayed and prayed and prayed and prayed and prayed and prayed and prayed, and they was praying with this cross, and they said, good Lord, this person did not worship your name and they are to be punished. Next thing you know, everybody in the community looking at you crazy upside your head. Okay. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I'm sick of it. I'm tired of it. I am. I'm tired. I am. I'm officially tired, 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 tired of it, y'all. I am. Because it just doesn't make any sense. To me, it's just unnecessary drama. Some people like drama. I don't. I like to breathe easy and just be happy. Y'all remember that song by Pharrell? Because I'm happy. Why you gotta go and make it complicated? Okay, can we just all chill and relax? But like I said, if you acquire a 500,000, like anyway, got that money, you ain't even go and praise the Lord. Then they get to calling on them spirits and see you carry one of them inverted crosses with you. I bet you that'd be freaking people out, Stefan. Religious people. They nail come out of the wall or whatever. The nail pop out the wall, and the inverted the cross just turns inverted. Oh my God, it's the devil. No, actually, it's probably a spirit trying to help you. Good Lord, like this is really bad. Like I don't understand, why are you punishing yourself all the time? You just whatever. Okay, whatever. So yeah, and it ain't that I'm the devil, because people be like, she is the devil. Is she the Antichrist? No, I'm not. I'm a flesh and blood woman that has been manhandled. Literally. Like, what are you manhandling me for? Please stop. Oh, God, yes. Stop the manhandling, please. Be gentle. Be gentle with me. What are you doing? I'm not a boy. I'm a girl. What are you doing? I don't want to fight with you. I'm a woman. I'm a woman. Okay? No. So yeah, that's it. That's where I'm at with the whole situation. Like, what in the heck and dang is going on here? I personally feel like it's a man's religion anyway, because the woman doesn't have much input in it. Whatever. Ain't nobody got to listen to me. Shit. I'm dropping stuff, trying to fix this thing. So, anywho, y'all, do that, and you'll find that things will get easier, in particular on a Sunday. If you want to draw an inverted cross and go, like, draw several of them, go outside and burn it on a Sunday or at a witching hour. Seriously. We just want to be protected. We don't want any trouble from anybody. We just want to be left alone. That's all. We just want to be left alone in peace and harmony, and maybe possibly worship the sun god, Ra, on Sunday. Maybe that's what we'd rather do on a Sunday, is worship the sun god Ra. Maybe that's what we want to do. Who knows? But Moses said to not do it. Well, I'm sorry, Moses, honey. Just because you claim that you were supposed to be a messenger or whatever, I don't know. I just, it's a very scary concept of people. And, when you're reading something and you're thinking, what in the world? And you're sitting there thinking, what is this? What is this? You say, well, that's God. And it's like, are you sure that wasn't just what some man said and said that it was God? I don't know. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You know? And if you say that simple thing, just that simple thing, then you're the devil and you're bad and you should die or something. They want you to die because you're evil. Just saying. So I just wanted to come with that little tidbit of information to help you guys, those of you that are, you know, not tied into the church and things of that nature, can really help you. In fact, there's a lot of my peeps, my clients and stuff that, they, I don't want to say that they're involved with the church, but they kind of have, those same vibrations, and, they, kind of, you know, and I don't judge them or anything like that, but I just try to gently explain to them, very gently, that, it may be the source of the evil that's in your life. You know what I mean? In fact, this sounds very blasphemous and sacrilegious, but if I, which I never would, but if I had a Bible in my house, I would paint an inverted pentacle, not pentacle, an inverted cross on it, because I just don't. You said Moses wants attention. Oh my goodness gracious! Yeah, I just. Mm-mm-mm. And they just have no hope for the world. They don't. They don't really have hope for the world. Just like, look at all these people. What are they doing? They're living, and they keep looking up at the sky, and they just keep worshiping the devil. Do you remember that movie Christian called Legion? I like movies. They're movies, pretty much. But remember that old lady at the beginning of the movie that started climbing up the ceiling and stuff? She was like, all the little babies and children, they're all going to burn soon. It'll all be over soon. Remember that? Oh my God. I feel like watching that movie. And I'm too sleepy right now, though. I'm going to get some rest, you guys. So, the name Moses is significant in Judaism and Christianity. In Islam, he is regarded as a prophet and a leader. Yeah, I know. I know who I know. Christian. I'm sorry, Stevan. I know. I know. The whole Gospel of Deuteronomy is written by Moses. He was trying to close my crown chakra because he didn't want me to, you know, to me, that just says closed crown chakra. Okay. So if that makes sense to y'all, okay, you just have to read it, okay, to understand what I'm talking about. So I definitely be in the Holy Spirit when I be reading, and I just be understanding exactly what they doing. Like, why would somebody want their crown chakra to be closed? Again, whatever. All right, y'all. Y'all have a good Sunday. Happy Sunday to y'all. Hail Satan. Okay. I'll see y'all later. Have a good one. Hit that thumbs up too, y'all, on your way out. Okay. Make sure you subscribe. All right. Okay, guys. Blessings to y'all. Bye bye.